Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday afternoon, and I received my Beckett Authentication order in the mail yesterday, and found some time today to get the video done to share with all you guys. This was an order of 15 autographs. Out of the 15, 14 came back authentic, and the one that came back not authentic, I'm kind of going back and forth with Beckett on, because one, it was kind of surprising, and two, I don't understand how it wouldn't be authentic. So we'll get to that one when we get to it. All I did was cut open the box so that it would make it easier to take everything out. And so let me take everything out for you guys, and we will start looking at stuff. So just bear with me here for a second. So there we go. We got some photos, and we have some cards. I think we'll go over the photos and stuff first, since they're bigger. So let me take this rubber band off. Take out the first one here. It's got some paperwork in there. So let's take the paperwork out first. Let's see what the letter says. We regret to report that one or more of your recently submitted autographs for encapsulation, in our opinion, is not authentic. So these are the reasons why they deemed that it could possibly be not authentic. So if you guys want to pause and read that, you can. So I don't know. Again, when we get to it, I'll show you guys. It kind of shocked me, and I don't know if I necessarily agree or not. That's why I'm kind of going back and forth. So they included another submission form. For Beckett. It's the services I don't want to show you guys. I want them to be a surprise. Looks like that was about it. Alright, so let's get to our submissions. So the first one we've got, I was glad to see came back authentic. It's Mr. Ted Turner. And you'll see I picked out the 4x6 photo of Mr. Turner and Ric Flair. You can see that he signed it right there in silver Sharpie. So it came back authentic. And you guys will know that a lot of these, if you've been watching my channel, they will look familiar, of course. So Mr. Ted Turner, authentic. Very glad to get that one back. That one I was a little concerned about, actually, just because of who he is. The next one we have, I got back recently, is Mr. John Grease, or John Grise, however you want to pronounce it. And so this one is obviously with Mr. Minshew from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Mr. Grease always loves to inscribe. And so he described this to me and my wife. He says, "You guys make a sweet pair, but not as sweet as us. Go long." And you can see his autograph right there. So fantastic. So glad, again, came back authentic. Cannot complain. Next one is, there you go, Mr. or Mrs. Carol Burnett. Black and white photo, black Sharpie. Came back authentic, as you can see. Fantastic. With her little heart with her autograph that she is known to do. There you go, Mrs. Burnett. Next one is Mr. Clive Reville. You can see I did the split photo of him when he was the hologram of the Sith in Star Wars, and then that's him, I'll say, more recently. And you can see his signature in silver Sharpie right there in the middle. Again, fantastic. Great for the Star Wars collection. Very, very nice. Mr. Clive Reville. Moving on to the next one. It's Mr. Huey Lewis, lead singer of Huey Lewis and the News. Again, when I got this one, I had to obviously include one of him with something related to Back to the Future, because he's so known for his songs to the trilogy movies. And so, of course, I picked the photo with the backdrop of Back to the Future on it with him. You can see his blue Sharpie has my name Brandon on it, Huey Lewis. You can see right there, it's authentic autograph with the number. So another one, glad to get back, authenticated. Couldn't ask for much more than that. Anybody who was old enough to live in the 80s and remember the 80s will know Mr. Huey Lewis. Moving on to the next photo. We have Mr. Andy Russell. You can see the photograph up there, the label, authentic autograph with number. And we got this 4x6 of Mr. Andy Russell. You can see that he signed it on his shoulder pads where the uniform was yellow. And this is someone who should be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe he'll get there someday. But glad to get this one authenticated. Looks so good in this case. I have another photo and an index card of him. Maybe on the next order, I'll shoot his other photo out to get authenticated, since I know that they're good. Just in case he doesn't make it to the Hall of Fame, that way it's protected and not jacked up. Doesn't get jacked up in my binders. Also, I've had a couple people say that they might be interested in sending me some cards, some autographs to submit in my next order. So when I do get ready to do my next order, I'll just let you guys know, in case any of you want to take advantage of me submitting, and we could discuss it then. No pressure. Don't feel like you have to. You can completely ignore me. But just because I've had some people mention that they might be interested, I'll just put it out there before my next order, so I can help anybody out. So the next one I have is a very, very nice one for me, being a Chargers fan. I got this sweet Charlie Joyner photo with him laying out for a catch, where he inscribed Hall of Fame 96 on it right there. Authenticated. This is like my third or fourth authentication of Charlie Joyner. And not that I don't think it's not authentic, it's just I wanted them encapsulated because I'm such a huge Chargers fan and I'm a fan of his. So this photo came back very, very nice. Awesome. Looks so much better in person. But he's got such a nice signature, and this photo just lent to being encapsulated in being shown off in the case. So, Mr. Charlie Joyner, sweet photo. Next one is another one I was excited to get back. Mr. Ed Asner. So you can see the label up there. I have a few photos of him signed, but of course I had to pick the one with him as Santa Claus in The Elf, because The Elf is such an awesome movie, and the color pen he chose to autograph the photo in and inscribe was just fantastic. So as you can see, hopefully, it says Brandon, let's go party, Ed Asner. So I was thrilled to get this one authenticated and encapsulated, and my daughter just loves it just because she's a huge Elf movie fan, and so she knows, you know, she's only 7. She knows, really all she knows about Ed Asner is that he's the Santa Claus in The Elf, and that he's the voice and kind of look-alike for the old man in Up. That's what she knows him for. So that's fine. And so this is awesome to get encapsulated. As you guys know, all of my stuff goes to her anyways. It's for her collection. So she will have this photo for as long as she wants it. Okay, and then the last photo, I'll call it a photo, we have is one that's made its appearance on YouTube a few times now on various channels. I'd like to think this might be the last time it's shown. Its final run, it's made its way through the mail back and forth all over this country. It's touched a few of our hands on YouTube. It's been shown off on YouTube when it was created and autographed. And it is none other than the Tony La Russa sketch authentic autograph from Mr. Reindeer Studios, Scott. Came out awesome. Looks great in this case. So Scott drew it, sent it off, got it autographed, sent it to Mike over at Autographs for a Cure. I got it from Mike at Autographs for a Cure, who sent it back to me. And I sent it on to Beckett, then sent it back to me. So I think this has made YouTube 3 or 4 times now. So I am so glad to get this thing encased, protected, and this might be the first time maybe, Scott will have to verify, this might be the first time that any of his work has been encapsulated at either PSA or Beckett or anything like that. So fantastic. I want to thank all you guys that were involved with this. I really do appreciate it. There you guys can see the signature and the label. Came out fantastic. I'm glad to have this in the collection, and my daughter just loves it. My wife loves it. We all love it. So it has found its home, and hopefully it'll stay here forever. So thank you guys. That was all the photos. Let's move on to the cards. And so what I'll do first is let me get the I'm gonna get the one that didn't pass. I'm gonna take it out real quick, and then I'm gonna take the cards out and put them upside down. And we'll just go one at a time. So there are the cards. Okay, so to go over the one that was not deemed authentic, and it might shock a lot of you, shocked me, was actually Mr. Colin Powell. I could not believe that they said this was not authentic. They said the signature was not authentic. I tried to get more clarification. They asked that I just send a image in to them, which I did. They still said that it was not authentic. And then they said I could do the service where they'll have some of their experts look at it online for $10 a piece if I wanted to. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I should do that again or not, but they deemed this as not authentic. Did not pass. So I don't know where that leaves me with Colin Powell. I don't understand why it wouldn't be authentic. I don't understand why he wouldn't sign, being that he's such a consistent signer and only does one each. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. So if you guys have any thoughts, leave it in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. So that's the one negative. So moving on, we have Mr. Rusty Wallace, which is the 1998 Pinnacle Mint. Came out really nice in silver Sharpie. I was glad to get this one back authenticated. I've sent to him a couple times. I got him back once. I still have like one or two out, but we're talking they've been out for like 2 or 3 years, so I don't know if I'll ever get them back anyways. But when I got him back this last time, I definitely wanted to get something authenticated, and so I got this authenticated. The other card I have, I ended up giving to my mom. She was a huge Rusty Wallace fan and was her all-time favorite NASCAR driver. So the other card has a great home with her, and this one is now encapsulated and authenticated and will go to my daughter. So that was Mr. Rusty Wallace. The next one is Mr. Juan Gonzalez. So Mr. Juan Gonzalez, he's a great signer. Fantastic. TTMer. I had to wait on these for almost a year. A lot of people get his requests back right away. For whatever reason, I had to wait a long time. But he was such a tremendous player in the 1990s that I just wanted him authenticated because, I mean, he was a big-time player. I mean, you could argue that without the steroids, he'd probably been in the Hall of Fame himself too, but that's another story. But anyways, can't really speak about 1990s baseball without speaking about Juan Gon, so wanted to get him authenticated, got that back. The next one I got back, which was really nice. I've had it for a long time. It was my first business card I've ever gotten from anybody, and it was actually Gary Bettman, the NHL commissioner. I got this a long time ago, I think when I first started doing videos for all you guys. It's one of the first pickups I had before I started getting into NHL, and was doing the commissioner project, trying to get all the active commissioners' autographs, and I'm still one short. I still don't have Roger Goodell, but that's pretty much an impossible one to get. But I thought it'd be cool to get this encapsulated, and it looks fantastic. I actually really like it. So if you guys are thinking about or concerned with how it would look with the business card encapsulated, here you go. I actually think it looks pretty nice. So cannot complain with that one. So that gives me 2 commissioners authenticated now. The last commissioner's autograph, active commissioner I have is Mr. Manfred, who's on a baseball. Beckett charges, I think, an extra $30 to have that encapsulated. So I don't know if or when I'll get that done, but I mean, I would like to get it encapsulated and authenticated. But who knows? So Mr. Bettman, got that one. The last 2 cards I have are Hall of Famers. So I'll start with the first one. This first one I've had since I was probably about 10 or 11 years old. And I bought it when authentication and really certificates of authenticity weren't in vogue and popular or any of that. So I just saw it at my local card shop, bought it because he was my favorite player of all time, still is, and took a chance. So I found it the other when I, the day or two before I sent this in, and thought, what the heck, let me send it in, let's see if we can get authenticated. And it did in fact come back, and it is Mr. Clyde the Glide Drexler. So it's on this 9192 Skybox. You can see he has it in the blue Sharpie right there. It's a thin blue Sharpie. Clyde Drexler. Came back authentic, which really excites me. I couldn't be happier. Like I said, it's my favorite player of all time. As a Blazers fan, it doesn't get much better than Clyde Drexler, unless you're talking about maybe Damian Lillard or Brandon Roy for a short period of time, but Clyde Drexler was the man. So I'm glad that this one came back authentic. This one I really had concerns with, just because, you know, a card shop 25 years ago selling to a 10, 11-year-old, you know, you never know what you're going to get, but it was legit. So glad that one came back. And the last one I wanted to show, I was excited when I got this back. Never thought I would get this back through the mail, but I did. It's Mr. Jerry Rice on this 1989 Topps, and it did come back authentic, so a huge sigh of relief. Some of you that have gotten it back, hopefully this will make you feel a little bit better that you in fact did get an authentic signature. A lot of you guys that have gotten his autograph back, I mean, it's spot on to what I have. So I think this will make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable that you have a legit auto from Jerry Rice. Came out fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything better from the greatest wide receiver and possibly the greatest NFL player of all time. So yeah, ended it on 2 Hall of Famers. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit long, but you know, I wanted to showcase each of the cards and photos I got back, give them their due, let you guys really take a look at them and analyze them in case you guys have some of their autograph stuff, just so you guys can see for yourself, you know, whether it matches up to what you have or is close to what you have. And also, I like to pass on the information just so you guys are aware of who is legit and who's not. Again, this one I really have issues with because I feel in my heart of hearts that it is a legit signature, but 2 times having it looked at, once in person, once online, I'm getting no's. I don't know if I'm going to submit it electronically or submit it again in person to have someone else look at it. I have a couple other autos of him. Maybe I'll submit another one to see if that passes. But yeah, I don't know why this wouldn't have passed. So just some food for thought, guys. Anyways, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I really hope you do. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a blessed Father's Day. Until our next video, see ya.